Haywood Pathway Center is so many things to me. I think first and foremost, it's a safety net for the most vulnerable men, women, and families in our community. It is a safe space where those struggling from acute housing crisis can come and find a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, and support. Most importantly, it's safe, but also the approach that Pathways takes to helping the individuals that are suffering from acute housing crisis is important because it offers a comprehensive approach to the problem. Connecting those men, women, and families with services that they may need is so important. We see a lot of individuals coming in with substance abuse struggles, domestic violence struggles, and more recently we've seen older individuals and individuals with disabilities coming in. So it's important that we're able to connect them with services within the community that can help them address their needs moving forward. And that's what Pathway Center is.
Haywood Pathway Center is a safe place. It's a place where people have the opportunity to rebuild their hopes and dreams and overcome the obstacles that they've encountered. It's been my experience in working in human services for over 30 years that people don't choose to be homeless. Things happen to them, and Pathways gives them a safe and wonderful place to help rebuild and get back on their feet.
They want to be the sheep in Jesus' parable. The other it means to me is that it's a sign that we love everybody. Everybody is a child of God. Our culture tends to give affirmation to those who achieve, who have success. And here are people who maybe haven't checked those boxes, but they're children of God. They bear the image of God, and we want to love them just as they are and offer them, again, pathways to change.
The Pathway Center does meet a huge need in our community and in our county. It is a place that people who are down or have fallen on hard times can come and get shelter as well as a meal. It is a place where those who have been incarcerated can come and reset their life. They will find support and assistance necessary to help them get back on their feet. The Pathway Center also has rules and regulations that helps the clients with structure. And the Pathway Center is the only shelter and center we have in Haywood County for the many people that need this type of help.
But there's more to meeting the needs than just being a shelter. They also provide food as well. And with Holy Cow food truck, they go out into all the communities and give away a lot of food also. So they're also feeding the community, not just sheltering them.
We live in a multicultural world. Many of us have food on our table, we've got shoes on our feet, got a warm place to sleep. Only when we are inconvenienced by someone in need of one of those, whether it's clothing or food or whatever, are we ever cognizant, or maybe I should say grateful for what we have. Haywood Pathway Center is tasked with this first, believing that you have to feed and clothe, etc., a destitute person before you can tell him that you love him. So the answer to that question is yes. However, most never realize the total effect of Haywood Pathway Center that it has on even one individual. When they think of HPC, they generally talk about addiction. A side note, for all of us, we're all addicts in one sort or another and in one stage of recovery or another. Haywood Pathway Center is a place where even addicts can find help. All are recovering or recovered. No, all of them don't recover. We wish they did. But the success stories are real and they change lives, and the changed lives are the proof of that success.
When it first started, I remember it was the faith-based community in the churches that were manning it with the volunteers at the camp, and the basic foundations of Haywood Pathway Center was the churches coming together to do this, to meet this need that had never been met before in Haywood County.
Having our church and faith-based community support is very important to the Pathway Center. The Pathway Center was established by the churches and our faith-based community coming together. It is a great example to people in our community that we are actually serving and we are being Jesus' hands and feet.
I believe that the churches and faith-based community play an integral part in the Haywood Pathway Center and what their heart is to accomplish here in this community. You know, oftentimes we talk about being the hands and feet of Jesus, and if we're honest, sometimes we want that to be very comfortable or in our own controlled settings. And what we know is that there are people right here in Haywood County that need us to be the hands and feet of Jesus. And what I believe that looks like is, you know, mercy started with the hands and the feet of Jesus, and those holes that were pierced through his hands and his feet. And so extending that mercy to people that we may not think deserve it, or maybe or look a little bit different than us. I think sometimes we can judge right and wrong based on rich and poor, and that's just simply not the case. And so I believe that being the hands and feet of Jesus, this is an opportunity for churches and for faith-based community to step in and really impact the needs here in Haywood County. And you know, when Jesus went out with his hands, he was touching, he was healing, he was serving, and that's what I feel like we have an opportunity to do here. And sometimes that may be touching the ones that we don't necessarily are comfortable with. Maybe that's washing the feet of the people that may not deserve it. That's what Jesus did. And maybe that's preparing a meal for people that were at a table that would end up betraying him. So there's things he did that didn't make sense and sometimes goes against the grain. So I think that for us to be the hands and feet of Jesus, we need to look to what the scriptures say, and we need to mirror what he did in his life so we can affect our community.